Hello again, and welcome to the football analysis. That's of week two. This week, we look at the preview of matches ahead of the weekend's fixtures. Of course, it's commencing today, and there's a lot to talk about. This is the page on Abeko Ocho on YouTube, and it's the show, the football analysis, where we take a deeper look into football matches, quick reactions after the weekend of action, and there's a lot more that we have to talk about. This week we've picked 5 games: Tottenham Hotspur, Manchester United, Manchester City, Newcastle United, and West Ham Chelsea. And of course, in the Spanish La Liga, we'll take a look at Real Madrid, and they're taking on Almeria, and for Barcelona, they're playing Cadiz. A lot more to talk about. So I've got my guys here to react to the games quickly. Interestingly, we have my guy Oracle. We call him Aura. Yeah, Oracle will be reacting to Manchester United. But interestingly, last week, the likes of Brown Coffee mentioned that there's nothing new going to come out from Manchester United. And let's ask this question quickly and see how the response will be from Aura, with Manchester United, Tottenham Hotspur, of course, playing at a White Hart Lane. I call him the football oracle. Well, Aura, we took a look at Tottenham Hotspurs under Angie over the weekend, and Tottenham's. I mean, you took all the big clubs that played over the weekend, and it seemed that it was only United that didn't show glimpses. Well, Mason Mount didn't really come to that show, playing with Casemiro in the heart of midfield in the 4-2-3-1 formation. You look at Angie's Tottenham Hotspur. It was an all-inclusive play from their setup. They've lost Hurricane, who was big and a huge figure in the English Premier League, but Tottenham didn't put themselves in shame. Having a 2-2 draw was quite impressive. Do you think Manchester United can show anything different this week? Because Brown Coffee have already written them off that there's nothing United can do, and they're going to continue like that because he does not even see the need to get Mason Mount in. What's your reaction to Manchester United? Would they have a spirited performance against Tottenham Hotspur? Would it be different from what they showed in week one?
Considering where United left off last season, I don't think there has been any improvement in the United squad. I mean, even though we signed Onana and Mason Mount, I don't really see United coming up good this season. I mean, our first game against Wolves, we didn't really perform. I mean, with respect to the Wolves team, they really have some quality players in there. Matthias Nunes, Mario Lemina. These guys really, worried the United players. That actually got Casemiro exposed. I mean, the partnership of Casemiro, Mason Mount didn't really work out. But I personally think that United always come up good against Tottenham. Probably one or two changes against Tottenham would help us. Dropping Mason Mount will be very vital. The Mason Mount we all knew at Chelsea 2 seasons ago was actually a very good player. But United is a whole team itself, and I mean, with respect to Chelsea, there is a lot of pressure on you when you play for Manchester United, honestly. And I'm just praying that Ten Hag, spice things up and then will come up good against Tottenham. I strongly believe the signing of Mason Mount will actually help us, because he brings some zeal and some sort of passion into his game, and I think it would help us. I mean, when he gets used to the system at United, but I don't see this United team. Let's just pray.
I mean, ADB, we all saw something great from Chelsea over last weekend. I mean, week one of the English Premier League. It was so sweet a play from Chelsea. Young chaps, I mean, from a new goalkeeper straight to a new attacker, and with some blend of experience and what have you. And Romeo Lavia comes in for Chelsea. Caicedo in for Chelsea. What do you see Chelsea want to do now? Going into a game against West Ham United, you feel they can continue their smooth run of play they exhibited over last week? And it seems Chelsea is seeming to gradually have that backlog, a squad depth that they can fight for the title. Do you feel it's will be a straight one walkover, still legs on the accelerator for Chelsea over the weekend? West Ham a done deal?
I think this a very exciting time for every Chelsea fan across the globe. We've been able to get almost every player we had or we wanted to sign. This week has been really exciting, because of the fourth and back with the Caicedo deal, and having to be on alert because there were news that he had signed for Liverpool, and later we got him. We've also gotten Lavia as well. So yes, it's a very exciting moment for Chelsea fans. Um, we are happy to have gotten these two. They add on to our midfield, and it's an exciting moment for us. About the young players, yes, I think the squad is a very young squad, and it goes to show the project that the coach has in mind, to build a new team. We all saw the massive ship out, during the break where almost all the players were shipped out, to other clubs, and they signed the new and young players because they want to build a new team. And when you're building a new team, it's important to have players that you can have command over. And so it's important to have these very young players, to have a new coach as well. So for the title challenge, I don't think that we will be contending for the title this season. This season, the goal is to build a team. Building a team takes time. Like I said, we have a new coach, we have a new team. The coach has ideologies that he would want to pass on to the players. It would take a while for the players to be able to imbibe the ideologies, to be able to play to the style of the coach. So it would take a while. I think for me personally, I'm targeting a top six. I mean, if we get a chance to play in Europe, fine. If we don't, and we finish probably mid table, it's also fine. I am not really raising my hopes that high to say that we're actually going to win the league. I don't think so. I don't think we have, a team yet to be able to contend for for the cup. What we do have are players are very good players, and then remember that it takes a while, like I said, to be able to put a team together. You cannot win a league with individual good players. You need to be able to have a solid team. And so I think what we will do is to use this season to build a team. So maybe for title contention, it will probably have to be shifted to next season. Then we can raise, our hopes high and say that yes, we are contending for the title. And for the West Ham match, yeah, I think this is a walk in the park. I mean, West Ham are not really a force to reckon with. After they sold their captain Declan Rice, they haven't really made any huge signings, to improve their team. And so, looking at the performance the team displayed against Liverpool, I am expecting that we finish this match with at least 3 goals minimum. You look at the stats, looking at the previous 6 matches that has been played between Chelsea and West Ham. Chelsea has won four, drew one, lost one. So the stats are like in our favor. So I think Sunday's game is a done deal. It will be a walk in the park. That's my expectation.
Oh, a lot of interesting reactions from you guys. But oh, Brown Coffee, the twist of Madrid. I want you to stay a bit in Spain today. The bit of Real Madrid are merry over the weekend. Barcelona Cadiz. Last week you said Barcelona didn't play anything magic, and for Real Madrid there was nothing of so much of a surprising performance for you. Even though Jude Bellingham, the new signing for Madrid, 20 years of age, got a goal for the setup that you take a critical look at Madrid against Almeria. Almeria is not one of the clubs to be a worry to Madrid. You think Madrid can grab another 3 points to scare Barcelona more? But for Barca also, Cadiz is not too much of a huge challenge, so they are all having a smooth sail over the weekend. But for Barcelona, Rafinha is already having a red card. They have a lot of young chaps on the bench. Who do you think can slot into that position and make sure Barca get their first 3 points of the season? Or you feel it should be rather a switch in formation from the 4-3-3 probably to a 4-2-3-1, because Barca have the likes of Michael Gundogan, who've played in Pep Guardiola's system in a 4-2-3-1 formation and help them. Now with Barcelona, what should Barca do this weekend to make sure they get a 3 all needed point? For Madrid, I feel it's a smooth ride over Almeria.
Real Madrid against Almeria, I also believe it's a safe game for Real Madrid because the setup that played against Atletico Bilbao over the weekend for their first game will any day triumph over Almeria. But it is also a tricky game because it is different playing against a tactically inept side. No disrespect to Almeria. I just feel they can cause an upset to Real Madrid. Jude Bellingham's performances has always been brilliant for a young chap who just turned 20, and the kind of football that he's playing is top. But I think his zeal to push into the box always leaves a lot of spaces in the middle, and any tactically swift and disciplined team will exploit that. I still think the pieces of Madrid setup is yet to fit, and I'm hoping they drop points against Almeria. You know my stand, Abeku. And that of them, Barcelona, Abeku. Well, as I indicated in my previous take, the FC Barcelona team only looks promising on paper. There's no two ways about that. And a game against Cadiz, trust me, isn't a walk in the park, especially when you visit them. But Barcelona is playing them at home, which is still not the home they would wish for, especially for the first home game of the season. And for the sake of some football fans who don't really know, Barcelona this season is playing home at the Estadio Olympic Luis and not Camp Nou. Tactically, there are a lot of lapses that need to be filled by the head coach Xavi. I also believe that Rafinha's red card will definitely impact Barcelona's setup against Cadiz. I think it's actually a blessing in disguise because a lot of balls are lost on that flank due to over elaboration by Rafinha. I think that will give way for promising young chaps, as you said, Abiku. A chap like Lamine Yamal, he really needs that start since Rafinha is suspended for this game. We also have the likes of Ansu Fati and Ferran Torres, even though I really dislike his style of play, but we still need to remedy that loss. Abeku, the problem of FC Barcelona at the moment is lack of goals. Lewandowski isn't and has never been the reliable source we wanted. People were blinded by the Liga trophy we won last season, and they didn't think that was a problem. But a lot of things that went wrong last season, especially in Europe, can't be traced to his lack of goals, his drought, if I must say. We actually need a prolific goal scorer, a young chap who can conjure one out of nothing. I mean, you see a player like Palmer doing it in Man City, and then you ask yourself why a team like FC Barcelona is still counting its goal scoring hopes on a player like Robert Lewandowski. But I think he will come good. It's still early days though. On the additions, Gundogan is a good addition by FC Barcelona. But I think after a crowning season with the Manchester City team, he now looks like a player who is on retirement. But I think he will come good. It's still early days though. And I will go for a 3-1 win for FC Barcelona. In the EPL, I think this match day 2, the game that we should look out for will be Manchester City and Newcastle. It's never Spurs Manchester United game. We know that game will be a boring game. Newcastle has what it takes to triumph over Manchester City. And I mean, Manchester City is still hungover with respect to the trophies that they are gathering. They just won the European Super Cup, and congratulations to them. But Newcastle will be a handful for them come Monday night. So Abeku, this is my take for the weekend, and I believe we will have a wonderful weekend of football.
Well, guys, certainly this week is going to be quite amazing, and I should say that. Well, for me, the weekend lineup for me is Tottenham Hotspur. I beg your pardon, Manchester City, Newcastle United. A huge game that is. Well, it was Newcastle United that started match day one with a 5-goal thriller, 5-1. They beat Aston Villa. Now you cannot write Aston Villa out. I watched that game. Aston Villa tried everything possible that they can, but you could see that the extinction between Aston Villa and a team that is in the UEFA Champions League. And I was super surprised with the performance of Newcastle United. Well, quite because you look at their setup. Nick Pope from defense, Kieran Trippier. I mean, he's played with a big club before in England. Fabian Schär, the likes of Botman, the likes of Byrne was with the setup over last season, and it's quite impressive to know that in the midfield, the likes of Sandro Tonali, a new chap in the setup, was playing awesomely well and scoring. And Bruno Guimaraes is a great guy also who we saw in the play. They have players not with a huge name. Alexander Isak, you can mention Alexander Isak and say he's a big golden player, but this is a squad that want to start from the scratch and build going forward, and they've done it quite in a great fashion. A 4-3-3 typical formation. I mean, everybody said Eddie Howe was the right man for Newcastle United, especially going into a season where they're going to play like champions in the UEFA Champions League proper in European competition. But mind you, and watch what they were the squad that got a lot of goals over the match day one in that result. Even though the likes of only Watkins were playing for Aston Villa and what have you, the likes of Musa Diaby, Leon Bailey, wow, they outsmart them. And look at their bench. They have Colin Wilson. They have one chap, Harvey Barnes, who's been with the setup, Sean Longstaff, the likes of Murphy and Matt Target. It's quite surprising the squad depth that, for me, I feel Newcastle United is having, and the kind of a cheap style of play that they play is quite exuberating. I mean, it's quite electrifying. You look how they swing passes together, quick feet, moving into dangerous spaces. Whoever thought that Newcastle United are going to play something terrific in a season, like this? And I mean, it shows the work they've put in. New owners, everything is quite impressive for them, and they have been doing a trick for Manchester City. I tell you what, you cannot write Manchester City scored off. Henderson in post. Josko Guardiola came in the Super Cup, has won it, playing with Ruben Dias in the heart of the defense. And mind you, the young chap who came in for the injured Kevin De Bruyne was solid in that space. And wow, they already have numbers. Phil Foden can play in the same position. They have Julian Alvarez, they have Jack Grealish, and Erling Haaland will only have to wait for passes from these guys to slot it in. They have a perfect, solid pivot in Matthew Kovacic and Rodri, and their game has always been instrumental. I tell you, at 7 p.m. tomorrow is going to be electric. It's going to be fireworks, end-to-end action in the English Premier League. And I'm sorry, Obra Kofi, but I must admit, this is still one of the most attractive leagues in the world, and it produces magic. And one of the magical fixtures we're going to have a look at is what we're going to see between Manchester City and Newcastle United. A strange beauty of a goal that will be, for the predictions, hard to predict, because the Magpies are going to go toe to toe with the champions, and let's wait and see what transpires from that game. You look at the head to head, the number of meetings between these two clubs, and it has been on summary a lot of wins or a number of wins for Manchester City. 30 of them in their last five has been four for Manchester City and no win for Newcastle United, just a draw in that space. And the last time they played was, I think, match four, where Manchester City won by 2-0. This is the English Premier League. It can't be anything. And Newcastle United have this at the back of their mind. It will be quite an exciting fixture for me in the English Premier League. So, guys, this is where we draw the curtains on our analysis. I know it's been quite interesting to know from us. Keep glued here. We'll be coming your way after the weekend's round of matches. We're unable to predict, of course, this in match day 2, but there's a lot more we're going to talk about after the game, because we know the Premier League is going to come with thrills, the drama, the excitement, the derbies, and what have you.